Hi there and welcome. Today I'm bringing you in on a evaluation and honing of this ERN 2611 or 2611 razor. This is a 7/8 full hollow. Let's see, I think I can show you the grind. Come on. I have to get better at this, but there you go. There you go. Kind of full hollow. Maybe between full hollow and Sheffield grind, except that the blade itself has a fair amount of flex to it, so it feels more like full hollow. This razor was recently refurbished and then sent to me for evaluation and honing. What I've done for the evaluation part is to lay it on a flat surface on both sides to verify that it in fact lays flat, and this does, which is big. That's a huge thing because it tells me that I don't really have to do any fussing around with trying to fix geometry. Then the second thing I do is look at the quality of steel along the apex. I don't expect it to be sharp, and this one is not sharp, but that's okay. That's what honing is for. So I took it under the microscope and looked at the steel, and here's an image of what I found. And so as you can see, the quality of the steel is excellent. The edge has throughout its length has very slight irregularities in shape. But again, that's what honing is for. Now, the person who sent this to me would like to have a JNet edge. I suspect that this razor is not going to need heavy abrasion to get to an apex. So I'm going to actually start on the JNet. I'm going to start with a Chu Nagura, and then I'm going to go to a Koma. Oh, hold on, gotta get the old Koma out. Koma Nagura. There's the ye olde stamps, and then from there I'll do a Tomo Nagura, followed by just soapy water on the stone. So it's a multi-stage progression that this will go through. I think that's going to be what's necessary. But if I need to adjust, of course I will. So let's get started. I'm going to build a slurry with the Chu Nagura, and I'm going to cut that out of the video so you don't have to deal with it. Okay, the slurry is built. The Chu Nagura slurry. I'm using my Nakayama Maruka Shouhonyama stone. This stone is a little bit softer than my Ozuku, but I believe that the abrasive is finer, a little bit finer. I mean, I get great etches off of both stones, but I think the natural abrasive in this stone is actually a little finer than on the Ozuku. So let's get going. If I spend a reasonable amount of time on this stone and don't get to an apex, then I'll obviously have to move to something with more abrasion. When I say stone, I really mean slurry, because at this point the true nagura slurry is really what's doing the cutting. And I'm not yet seeing the apex meet the stone, but I have lots of good signs. For instance, the way the slurry pushes in front of the edge is good. We like that. And so what I'm doing is simply grinding down each bevel edge, or each bevel of the edge, so that it material is removed, and the bevel has less material and moves towards an apex. How will I know when I get an apex? Well, for me here, and we're getting close, I'll know when I see the slurry start to move over the stone, as it is now. I'm being careful to work from the heel to the toe. You can see I'm very careful to keep the heel on the stone. This isn't my razor. I mean, the way I shave, I use the whole edge, but I'm certainly, for somebody else, going to prepare the entire edge as well as I can. And I'm moving, you see me moving my hand across. That's a knife sharpening thing. I do it because it feels good to me, and it also gives me confidence that I am getting pressure across the edge. My edge bias is a little bit more than it will be at the finishing stage, but generally speaking, I like to let the abrasive do the work. I think we're very close here to having what we want. You can see how the slurry has turned gray from a very whitish hue, so we know we've removed some material. Gonna do some alternating strokes to see how I feel about the way in which slurry is moving over the edge. Now these are edge, this is really burr removal. One of the things that I love about using slurry is the bead blasting effect right on the apex. I feel that this is I mean, sometimes I kill an edge because I feel as if a significant amount of material needs to be removed, especially if I feel like there's bad steel, you know, the steel is heavily fatigued, or there's a temper issue at the edge. But if I think the edge is good, I don't kill it. You know, it's very difficult to control the amount of material you remove when you kill an edge. And if you use slurry, especially with the coarser grits, that's going to remove material from the apex just fine. So that's my preference, is if possible, I don't kill the edge. And with this razor, I think this razor is going to be a stunning shaver, this ERN. So I wanna keep as much material down there as possible. This is looking very good. Okay, I think we should test this. Off the Chu Nagura, I expect I'm not going to stop until I can easily push cut the packing peanut. If it makes a little noise, that's okay. We've got many stages of honing to go, but each stage needs to do its job in narrowing each bevel towards the apex. So let's see how. Yeah, there we go. Little sound, but that's okay. That sound should be going away as we... So I didn't show you, I had tested this prior to making the video, but it was just bouncing off. Now it's not, it's making, I have very even, you know, you have to take my word for it because I'm the one applying the pressure, but I have very even keenness across the edge off the Chu Nagura. So I'm quite happy with this development. We're going to move to the coma, and I'm going to pause you, prepare the stone, prepare the or clean off the stone, prepare the slurry, and then I'll be back. Okay, the coma nagura is now built for us here. You might be wondering about other aspects of the condition here. This razor has a very slight amount of hone wear on it, and the nature of the hone wear showed me that the edge, the development of the edge via honing was very good, and my inspection of it verified that. You might be thinking, well, you know, that might have been the initial honing and then they moved to tape. Tape in the history of razors, using tape on the spine is a relatively recent fad. A razor's not designed for that purpose. It's designed to be honed the way I'm honing now. We're not going to discuss whether or not it was designed to be honed on a wheel instead of a flat surface. Let's just say that you can get excellent results either way. It was a gamble on my part. It could have easily been honed with tape, but I figured within the first 5 minutes or so of honing with a Chu Nagura by feel, I would know. And in fact, that's, as you saw, it turned out that I was able to get to an edge very quickly with the Chu Nagura. So this coma is starting to gray up a little bit. Let's start to do alternating strokes so that I can feel symmetry. This is how I figure out symmetry. I don't count. I observe. I don't keep for these stages. I try to keep the slurry somewhat dense and thick, the way you see it, and not voluminous, so that I am definitely moving the edge through slurry. The slurry is doing the majority of the work here, but when I'm doing X strokes or alternating strokes, I'm not expecting, and there isn't enough slurry to really go jumping up to the spine, jumping up over the edge to the spine. So I look for what you're seeing. I look for, if I do an X stroke, I want that slurry to roll all the way, easily roll all the way from the heel to the toe. I'm rolling with very little pressure. To make this happen, I gotta tell you, the feel on this stone is just extraordinary. So let's do some cleaning strokes here. I'm definitely rolling pressure. I want the reason I'm rolling pressure, the way I think about this in my technique, this is more about deburring, cleaning, keeping the edge free of burr, and also doing a little bit of smoothing. So if the edge has any teeth on it, this is hopefully rounding, or either cutting those teeth off or rounding them. All right, let's see how this is developing. I suspect pretty well. Yes, less pressure, a little bit more silent than before. Still making a little noise, but that's expected. We have two more rounds to go here. But wow, that's good. I'm happy to see that progress the way I wanted it to. Okay, nice and even across the whole edge. I got a little carried away with that. I kind of like doing it, so I might get a new packing peanut before the next stage. All right, so we've done our two nagura. It's time for the tomo nagura. I'm once again going to pause, build the slurry, and then I'll be back. Okay, this is a watery tomo slurry built with the little DMT diamond plate, extra fine diamond plate. And I purposely built this a little thin. The way I did that was to build just a slurry directly on the stone and then add a little water to it. You know, maybe that's a good choice, maybe it isn't. But I thought that this might be the right level of refinement for this edge as it stands right now. I appreciate all of the questions and comments I get on these videos. It's very enjoyable to interact with you all. I try to explain, as somebody who sharpens more than just razors, I try to explain sharpening from the point of view of the principles involved, the physical principles involved. And so I've stayed away. There's math. I've stayed away from some of the math because I really don't think it's necessary. I also promote the idea of doing this by feel. If you really want to sharpen on stones, then feel is like what I'm experiencing right now is it really adds to the experience of sharpening. I think it adds to the quality of the result, but mostly it adds to the experience of sharpening. If you don't care about developing feel and you want to use like a process-based system, you know, so many laps this way, so many laps this way, change the grit, do this, do that, then you know, that's fine if that fits your need. But for things other than razors, if that's the way you feel about it, then maybe a better choice is a guided system, you know, something like an Edge Pro, because you want the feel, the feedback from the stone, and what you observe. You want that to contribute to your experience of doing this. You're going to spend a little time at it, so it should be enjoyable. So my view is learn to sharpen by feel, as much by feel as possible. With knives, I can do the whole thing by just sensing the result. With razors, I generally, I have about a year ago, I adopted this idea of using the packing peanut, because I realized that with knives, I'm testing all the time. I come up off the stone, do some testing with my fingers, and I hadn't really thought of that as testing, but it is. So my equivalent to doing that with a razor was to adopt using the packing peanut. Quick, easy. The packing peanut is quick. It's easy. I don't have to do any setup. I don't have to go find the right hair. I don't have to worry about hair consistency. None of that. The polystyrene packing peanuts are surprisingly consistent. You can very quickly get a feel for, you can very quickly get a feel for how the different densities of packing peanuts are going to react. They're all very close. A really dense packing peanut will require a little bit more force to break the skin, but you can get the feel for that very quickly. Okay, so this is looking. I'm going very slowly because I'm really trying to feel what's happening at the very apex as I go across the stone. That's why I'm moving so slowly. Okay. Let's see where we are with this one. New packing peanut, by the way. All right, so that's very good. We are where we want to be. We are in push into the cloud territory here. I mean, there's only a slight amount of noise. It's pretty effortless to push this through. This is definitely where we're in the right territory with this. Hang on here. What's going on here? I think I'm going to put a little bit more work in on the heel. Yeah, so this is moving along really well. This heel does have a little bolster on it. I'm keeping the bolster off basically by having where my fingers are and visually. You know, I'm aware of it, and so I'm keeping that bolster off the stone. And sometimes what happens is that awareness causes me to not put as much attention to the heel as I should. But I believe this is going to help. Ooh, what was that? Let's see if that made a difference. Luckily, what I'm feeling at the spine and not the edge in both directions, or in this direction. I was feeling it back here. All right, let's see where we are. Let's see if I got the heel to where I like it. And this is really this is where I would have, this is a tiny, oh yeah, there we go. This is a tiny change. That I was able to adjust on the stone because I was able to do the testing. Okay, so we're good. All right, now we move into the final stage here. We're going to just go with a soapy water solution. Put a little water on there. Let's spin it again. I've been spinning the stone for each pass, or each section or part of this process. All right, let's get going with the soapy water. Once again, I've determined that having a fragrance makes a huge difference in the result, in the quality of the result. So this is too soapy. Got carried away there. Carried away with the fragrance. All right, that's feeling very slick. Once again, as I've mentioned before, I want this razor to be sharp off the stone. It will improve if I do that. It will improve a little bit with stropping, but only a little bit. And that's what I want. I want that kind of result, so that I don't have to strop for sharpness. The quality of the edge will break down. The quality of the edge is much better if you have the geometry of that edge defined through abrasion rather than deformation, which is what you're getting with mostly with stropping. Now what I just said applies to using a strop that does not have an abrasive on it. So if part of your process is to go from your stone to a strop that has chromium oxide on it, well, the chromium oxide is an abrasive, so effectively what you're doing is what I do here. You're effectively doing this. You're doing edge trailing strokes with on an abrasive. Now, a strop has a little give to it, so you're doing. So those edge trailing strops are on a surface that's not hard, and so that contributes to the shape of the edge. You'll have a little bit of convexity. I generally think that's a good thing, having a little bit of convexity, and this is what these strokes, you see me do this all the time. I'm going to do it to this. I think this is going to be an exceptional shave test. I may, if it's as good as it is, I may not send it back. So, if you send me a razor, there's that, there's that risk you take. If I like it too much, I may not send it back. And I'm sure I'm being serious about that. Okay, I'm loving the way. Let's water that down. I'm loving the way this is just popping over the This is me setting the razor down and just pushing it. No edge bias whatsoever. And it's just popping. Let's get rid of some of that. It's just popping over the... This is going to be a, I hope this is going to be a exceptional edge. We're obviously going to need to do a final microscope image of this. I could find, I doubt it, but I could find that the whole edge has fallen apart, and what I've been testing with is a sawtooth, but I kind of don't think so. This is kind of the experience part, you know. I've done this a couple times. Okay. I admit that this part is really, really addictive. The feel is so nice. I can really feel that apex on the stone. It just feels so smooth. You can push this. I can go longer if this needs. This makes it very easy to push an edge. You can, because of the lubrication, you can do many strokes, and there's little fear of overhoning with a natural stone anyway because of the variety of abrasive size. But especially with a very fine-grained JNat, you can really push an edge. Okay, let's, me talking, sorry about that. Yeah, look at that. That's, okay, we are in, absolutely in Push Into the Cloud. That is beautiful. Look at that, beautiful. Sorry, keep forgetting where the camera is. Wow, really nice. You know, it always I'm always amazed by this simple stuff. Yeah, just simple stuff. Okay, and this will get even more accentuated. This test will be even more accentuated after a little bit of stropping, and I'm going to do something like 20 laps on canvas, or linen rather, and then 40 laps, and that's all, 40 laps on leather, and then this will be ready for its shave test. So let me go do that. I'm going to pause, go do that, take a microscope image, and then I'll be back. Okay, we are done honing this beautiful ERN razor. I did 20 laps on the fire hose linen, and then another 40 laps on this steer hide leather. I took a microscope image before and after stropping, so you can see what that looks like. And we're only left to do a final test here. So I expect this to be better than it was directly off the stone. It was just entering Push Into the Cloud territory then, and I expect this to be better. So let's go find out. Yep, it's absolutely, definitely better. Full on Push Into the Cloud here. And it's very consistent everywhere, which is good. So that tells us something, but the rubber meets the road with the shave test. So I'll be on to the shave test next. Thanks for staying with me and listening to my rambling, and I will see you in the shave test. Bye.